Hello and welcome to our video covering author's correction functionality in ONTRAM. The author's correction feature in ONTRAM allows users with specific rights to make changes to the source language while the job is already in progress. The advantage of author's correction is that jobs for which the source language changes during the process do not have to be set up again. Please notice that the author's correction feature is not a valid tool for changes in the overall structure of the file or for adding new segments. In this tutorial video, we will cover a situation where a project manager changes certain segments in the source language with ONTRAM's author's correction functionality. After that, a translator logs in and addresses these changes. Author's correction settings will also be covered as well. The author's correction feature can be activated on the level of a group or a certain job and inherited by ONTRAM's group tree structure. To activate author's correction, we navigate to the settings of a certain group and scroll down. After opening the AC settings, we can now adjust all values. By changing the value of the first input field, we activate the feature. The second value defines the role where all languages of a job have to be situated based on the defined workflow so that author's corrections could be performed in the source language. As an example, if we select translator, author's corrections could only be activated and performed if all languages are still in the translating process. It is also possible to select multiple roles here by holding the Control key. The last value defines the workflow step by which all author's corrections must be processed and reviewed. For this check, the QA check rejected author's corrections must be activated and set as an error or warning. Please don't forget to save any changes. In the following case, a project manager just noticed that there are faulty segments in the source language of a job. To perform author's corrections, several conditions must be fulfilled. Author's corrections were enabled in the job settings. You were assigned the user right Make Author's Corrections, and the same workflow role is currently responsible for all languages of the job part, and this workflow role is authorized to make author's corrections. In our special case, the project manager notices that the job is still at the translating process, so author's corrections are still possible if they were activated previously in the job or group settings. Selecting the job and scrolling down the job overview page shows the project manager that author's corrections functionality is enabled. To perform corrections in the source language, we have to select Edit and click on the Configuration button in the toolbar. We now checkmark author's correction and hit Display and Save to activate the feature. ONTRAM now provides us with the AC Editing button right beneath every source language segment. Hitting the button beneath the segment of choice will open a new pop-up window where we can easily edit the source language text. Selecting the Publish button will directly save and publish the correction. As we can see, an additional icon now appears next to the author's correction button. Selecting the so-called author's correction history will open a new window where we can track all changes that were performed in this segment. Peter Summers, a translator, now logs in to finish his translation job. After selecting the job, ONTRAM already provides Peter with the information that author's corrections were registered in the source language. To continue translating, Peter hits Edit. To process the corrections, Peter now opens the configuration in the control bar by hitting the corresponding button. He now simply adds an additional column to display all corrections. Finally, select Display and Save. ONTRAM now provides a third column with all authors' corrections. All Peter now has to do is first checkmark the author's correction edited box. By selecting this box, Peter confirms that he noticed and considered the correction. After that, Peter can simply edit the translation. It is also possible to filter for author's correction. Therefore, Peter simply selects the filter icon in ONTRAM's toolbar and hits author's correction. ONTRAM also warns Peter at any handoff to the next workflow participant if author's corrections were rejected. Peter could simply jump directly to the rejected corrections by hitting the Switch to Editing Field button. As already mentioned, these warnings or errors could be set with ONTRAM's QA functionality. We hope you enjoyed watching ONTRAM's author's correction tutorial video. Thanks for your time and attention. Whenever you have any question, please don't hesitate to contact us via live chat or by email at support@ontram.com.